Tom here, and welcome to what is quite possibly the most epic build of my career. So 3 years ago, I created this giant brick titanium knife, and that was at a time when I didn't have this factory and I was barely just going full time, and that video exploded. It's been 3 years now, and we have 3 million views on that thing, and it pretty much launched my YouTube channel, launched my career, and it just put me onto that next level. Now it is 3 years down the road, and we're going to do it again. This is altogether about 2 meters of solid titanium stock. We're at 25mm thick, 53mm wide, and then yeah, obviously 2000 millimeters just about long. We're going to turn this into 6, ideally 6, that's the goal. That's what we're shooting for. 6 finished chunk brick titanium just beasts. I want them to be big, mean, aggressive knives. So we're going to basically start chopping this up and make it into some pretty epic knives. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is going to take this giant chunk of metal and turn it into manageable sized pieces. So we'll get the bandsaw out and we'll basically divide this up into 5 little chunks of metal. So probably going to take a while. We'll probably just hook up the bandsaw and figure out a way to get it to run automatically so I don't have to sit there for 20 years and wait for it to cut. So taking this Franken bandsaw apart, I'm going to set it up to actually work as a regular metal cutting bandsaw once again. The reason I took this out of the grinding room is because there is not a whole lot of space in the grinding room with a 1.8 meter bar. We'd start actually, we start running out of space. The idea is we'll hook it up and we'll just start slicing them down like this and start breaking down the titanium into manageable chunks. So first up we have bandsaw blades. So I went out and I bought the entire stock of bandsaw blades I could from the local guys that would fit this bandsaw. And I don't think it's enough. Judging from last time, I did chew through a few bandsaw blades in the last video. We're going to try our absolute best to get the most amount of life out of these bandsaw blades as we can. I do have more bandsaw blades in order, but they're not going to rock up until after Christmas. 4 fresh bandsaw blades and this one here, which is sort of okay. Hopefully we can get away with using the worn one. This saw doesn't have enough weight in the head here to cut effectively, so it's sort of skimming instead of cutting. Solution. Hang some weight on it. Much better. So we've kind of ran into a problem. In about 5 minutes of cutting, that's pretty much all we've done, which isn't too bad, but the bandsaw blade is just, I mean, that's not cutting anymore, pretty much at all, which is not ideal. The last time I did this, I didn't actually have this problem. I actually had a different bandsaw with a bit more of a powerful motor and different blades. I don't have the bandsaw anymore and I don't have those blades, so I don't know if this is going to work, which is, that's not comforting. Plan B, we're just going to get some angle grinder discs and just grind the f out of it. Hopefully that works. I know titanium's horrible to cut with an angle grinder, so I'll go out and I'll buy as many as I can get and we'll just start, you know, hacking away at this thing. Take 2.
All right, let's give this a go. The issue we've run into, we've actually plotting out on the machine, so we can't actually cut any deeper. So we'll flip it around and keep cutting, and if there's any in the middle, we'll just snap it off if we can.
There we go, all nicely cut up, or relatively nicely. Let's start marking these out and actually start cutting some blade profiles out of it. I've been running this angle grinder all bloody day, and we've made quite the mess. So I've gone through a whole pack of 25 angle grinder discs, and they just tears through them. I mean, I'm cutting for maybe 2 minutes, and the disc is just too small to use. I mean, we've made all of this dust. I don't know how much of that's, you know, titanium, how much of that's angle grinder discs. It just rips through them. Been pretty much going all day. You can actually see the angle grinders, it's f***ing toasty. I've got to give it a rest every hour or two because it gets too hot to touch, and I'm worried about, you know, wrecking this thing. So I've got one more disc to go. I think I'm going to get another pack of 25 to finish this off because it's just, I mean, this is ridiculous. We're just chewing through them like crazy. I normally last a whole year off one angle grinder pack, so yeah, this is nuts. We've basically chewed through them in a number of hours. This is releasing a lot of gas, so what I've done is I've hooked this unit up, and it's actually pumping the gas outside into the atmosphere so I don't, you know, die of some sort of horrible metal poisoning. Yeah, so I'm going to do a quick run to Bunnings. We're going to get another pack of angle grinder discs, and that should hopefully cover us for the rest of the project. This is ridiculous. Second pack of abrasives. Alright, so after hours and hours of cutting, we've got them all cut out roughly. Next step, we're going to take the grinders and sort of just smooth out this area, you know, grind this and make it all smooth, because obviously that's a really jagged, rough edge. And get them down to essentially this point, where they're sort of becoming a knife shape. At least that's the goal for tonight.
Much later.
So we just got finished milling in the spines of these things. Essentially, what we do is wedge these up, and then mill the spine at sort of an angle that gives that really cool aggressive stance that makes the knife look mean and fast. It also gives us a point here where we can actually make the swedge start from, which looks cool. And I actually did all of this milling with one set of carbide inserts. Now I'd actually planned ahead and bought a whole bunch, but turns out one set of, cheap, dodgy little carbide tooling worked fine. I mean, they are completely now, but for what I needed them for, it worked great. I mean, I was pushing them and the machine way past where I've designed to and taking pretty big cuts on the mill, which I kind of had to do because I didn't want to be there until next week. But it worked great. Finish is pretty dog shit, but besides that, we're all good. And they're all going to get ground again like this one here. So the finish is completely irrelevant. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. The mill's screaming hot right now. I'm just going to let that cool down for a bit, and then we're going to do some more grinding and milling. Alrighty, so we've cut this thing out. All the outside's been cut off the angle grinder and the mill. And now we're going to start thinking about how we're going to cut out this internal shape here. The main problem is obviously it's curved, so an angle grinder disc is going to take forever and it's going to be pretty dangerous, and the cuts are going to be very sloppy to try and match this curve. So what I'm going to do is the same thing I did in the last one, is I'm going to take the drill press and just drill a load of holes like on this one here, and then just sort of remove the material with the drill to set up a cutting disc. And then in theory I can just cut this section here, cut this section here, and this whole area here can be smashed out with a sledgie, in theory. What you're looking at is all of the drills, and they are all absolutely rooted. We've used carbide bits, we've used coolant, kind of been switching around and experimenting with this thing. But if you think about it, there's what, 20 holes in each of them by these 4 and the other 2 I did. So we've been drilling through meters of titanium, but we've got them cut out and they're looking good. So from this stage we'll grind them out, and then we'll basically have the knife at sort of a knife-ish shape. At least that's the goal. If anyone's got any idea what to do with these things, let me know. here. It took about an hour and a half just to remove all this. That's going slowly, trying to reserve the inserts, which I think might have been a waste of time because the inserts are pretty wrecked now anyway. But we've removed material, and hopefully this is going to help us save belts, because obviously, you know, the inserts are $1-2 a piece and they last a lot longer than a $20 belt.